Hello and welcome back. Today, I thought we could run through some of the best and worst pieces to buy from UNIQLO. As you may know, UNIQLO is one of those brands I've leaned on heavily over the years, so this is going to have some of my tried and tested reviews, along with what I tend to look out for and what I will avoid when I'm shopping at the brand. I did pop in store this week to have a little bit of a nosy and try on some of the things that I was curious about, so it's going to be peppered with lots of mini reviews as well. For flow, I'm going to run through this video category by category, but you'll find specific timestamps for all of the items that I mentioned down in the description box below in case you'd like to jump ahead to anything. So I thought we could start with knitwear, which makes sense given it's autumn down under where I live, but spring for those of you in the Northern Hemisphere. And I really just wanted to champion UNIQLO's 100% cashmere pieces. I truly think that this is excellent value for money for a basic crew. It feels soft and they always have interesting colors, though I will say they run cool. So if you're someone who has more of a warmer undertone, you may find it difficult to find a color that works with your complexion. These have a really traditional fit. I tried on the pink color because I thought that this was really interesting, the way that the yarn has a flecked quality to it, and you can get a real sense for how this is relaxed, but it's traditionally slim. If you want something that fits a bit more oversized, I would recommend going up a size, or alternatively trying one from the men's section. Just keep in mind that the men's ones do have much longer sleeves, so you're going to have a bit of bulk to have to ruche up your arms. I ended up buying one of their cashmere cardigans. It's from their partnership with Claire Wakecolor, who is currently their creative director, I believe, and I'll put some more information down in the description box about her design history, but I just think that their collaborations are where they truly do tend to shine and where you can find some really interesting and unique pieces. They always have really great innovation. So this is a boxy style cashmere cardigan in a lovely taupe color. If you're in Australia, this is available now. I size up in a medium quite often when I am getting knitwear from UNIQLO, just so it's a little bit more slouchy. But I would say with this, I really didn't have to because it is cut quite boxy and you're going to see how loose the sleeves are on me. I did get another cardigan and I'll show you a side-by-side for comparison, as the other cardigan is more of a traditional fit. The actual yarn, the cashmere that they've used, is a cut above. This feels much more premium and more luxurious than their traditional Cashmere Crew line is. It is really light and fluffy on the hand and is kind of reminiscent of some of the more designer pieces in my wardrobe. And this is definitely why I tend to make a beeline for these collaborations, as quite often I do find that it's where you're going to come across those true gems. Cardigans like this are great because they have so much styling potential. You can wear them back to front. You can wear them basically like a V-neck, tucking in the collar if you wish. You could even add a little bow collar over the top if you wanted something that felt a little bit more maximal, but a really, really beautiful style. I also opted for one of their 100% Lambswool. I also bought one of their 100% Lambswool cardigans. I will say that I've noticed over time that they've really improved the softness, the tactile quality of their Lambswool pieces. They've gone from feeling just fine to feeling really plush and soft, which probably has to come down to the way that they are pre-treating the yarn before they're spinning it into these sweaters. So again, this is one of the collaborations, this time with Comptoir de Cotonniers. I'm not sure if I pronounced that correctly. And it has a ribbed texture to it and really large buttons down the front in contrast to the fine buttons on the Claire Wakecolor design. You'll be able to see that yes, this is a boxy fit and I did get the medium, but the sleeves feel a little bit more intentional and a lot less oversized and relaxed. I think that this is great because it does have a little bit of a structure to it, a little bit more rigidity. It holds its own and it does come in a few nice colors, but they have really beautiful Lambswool crew neck sweaters at the moment, and I will say that the navy in the men's is beautiful. It almost reads as a black. That was definitely one of my favorite pieces that I came across when I was shopping in store, and they do have a cardigan version as well. This is probably one of the benefits of shopping in the men's section at UNIQLO. Many of them are designed with the intention of women being able to wear them too, or essentially as them being a unisex piece. So you'll see me wearing the men's crew here, and I opted for the size small, but I think if I was wearing the medium, it would be a better fit because it does come in a little bit at my hip, not creating the most flattering silhouette. Whereas if I were to size up, I'd kind of have that slouchy, almost the row-esque sort of a feel. The knitwear that I would personally avoid from UNIQLO is anything that's been blended with a synthetic, acrylic, polyester, rayon. Now, this is going to be a bit of a running theme throughout the items that I avoid, though there are a few exceptions. So for example, I would avoid this souffle yarn. This actually has a bit of a synthetic quality to it, and while it does wash well, I don't think that it holds up anywhere near as nicely as their natural fiber pieces, and the very fact that it's synthetic means that it is not going to be breathable at all. Now, if anyone ever asks me for t-shirt recommendations, UNIQLO is one of the first brands that I spit out of my mouth. It is one that I will always recommend time and time again because the quality is exceptional, especially at the price point. They're really hard wearing. I love their 100% cotton tees, which always come in lots of different colors. These are from the UNIQLO U line. And if you aren't familiar with UNIQLO's U line, these are designed by Christophe Lemaire. He has his own namesake brand called Lemaire, and he often infuses his own design ethos into the styles that are produced for the U line. Now, what's great about this classic crew is that it does have a bit of a structure and hold to it. It does fit a little bit more on the slim side, so I recommend sizing up one size to get a little bit more of an effortlessly relaxed fit that isn't going to hug the hips and that will tuck really well. These almost have 100% opacity, and I think you can just see from the clips how well this fits. I opted for this lilac pink because I thought it would be a really interesting one to pair back with some of the neutrals I have in my wardrobe. Again, UNIQLO do really good colors. The other t-shirt that I would always recommend is another one from the UNIQLO U line, and this is one of their Airism tees. Now, this is a cotton blend, and usually I would be steering clear of the cotton blend tops, but the thing I like about this is that it feels really lightweight and breezy. You can see the fabric through the hanger, which I think demonstrates how lightweight this tee actually is. This has a longer sleeve. This is definitely one of their unisex designs. And again, you can't go wrong because they are such a good price point. I had to try on the mini short sleeve tee, which are the baby tees everyone is always talking about. They're a cotton and elastane blend. This is more lightweight than the crew neck tee, and I will say you want to stick with your usual size for this design as it does fit slim. If you want it to be really kind of hugging the contours of your body, then you could size down, but I think you'd find it a little bit too small in the shoulder. Overall, I think that this is really nice, especially for those who do have a shorter torso, but I find for me, I do prefer to cover up my midriff a little bit more, so it's not one that I personally would be adding to my own wardrobe. I tried on a couple of UNIQLO's cotton stretch tops in store, which I thought were really nice basics. So first we have the soft ribbed tee long sleeve. This is a mix of cotton, viscose, and elastane, and while I don't particularly love the fabrication, it feels really nice and light and smooth against the skin. I do find that this is generous sizing, particularly if you want something that is really fitted and snug against the body, so I do recommend sizing down one, and you can see that the sleeves are actually very, very long. It's a nice tight high crew neck, though it does run a little bit on the sheer side. The length is nice and long, so you can easily tuck this into things. The other long sleeve I tried was the ribbed high neck tee. So this is 93% cotton and 7% elastane, and I much preferred this fabrication. It does have a really good amount of stretch and it felt quite thick against the body, a really good base layer, and this came in quite a few different colors. I think the mock neck also just adds a little bit of interest, and this brown was really, really beautiful. It does also have a rib texture like the previous top, but it's a slightly thicker rib. I tried on so many pants. I came home with one pair, but a lot of them were absolute wins. And I want to start with my favorite, which if I didn't already have something similar, I probably have bought these too. These are the wide chino pants. And what was interesting about these is that the twill reminded me a lot of quite a stiff cotton, but they are a poly blend. They feel very thick and very well made. And I like the fact that they're floor length on me. If you're particularly tall, you may find that these are cropped on you. The wide leg doesn't feel too overwhelming. And I think that this is helped by the fact that there's quite a bit of structure to it as well. I tried on the mint green, but these come in some great neutrals like ecru, black, and camel too. Now, I didn't realize that JW Anderson had done a collaboration with UNIQLO on these jeans, and the quality of them is phenomenal. They're 100% cotton, so a rigid denim. The only bugbear for me is that they were a mid-rise, but I thought that they fit really nicely. Now, I did size down too, so I had a really nice snug fit across the hips, but if you wanted more of a relaxed fit, I would say go with your usual size or size down one. I find that UNIQLO denim does tend to be quite a generous fit. These are a full-length jean in a straight leg style, and I especially loved how they had the J.W. Anderson logo bleached on the back pocket. The other pair of jeans I tried on are the wide trouser jeans, and I like these because they kind of blend the design of a trouser with the fabrication of denim. They feel really nice and thick and sturdy. They have an elasticated panel at the back, which really helps to ensure that the band hugs the waist really nicely. Again, a full length. These fit very similar to those wide leg trousers from earlier, but just more in a denim fabrication. So they've got a little bit more of that structure to them. These also come in a blue denim as well if you prefer that over white. I did end up getting a pair of cord trousers from the collaboration with Comptoir de Cotonniers, which I think are a really nice straight leg fit. They do not hug the hips or the leg in any way, just nice fluidity and drape. They're a high rise. Again, they do fit pretty large. I size down to the extra small, and I think if you wanted them to fit tight across the hip, then you could size down 2 sizes. Really nice length, and there's also ample hem if you needed to let them down a little bit. The actual corduroy feels really nice on the hand. It's a cotton corduroy, and one of the reasons why I ended up buying these is because they reminded me a little bit of a trouser I had from Everlane years ago that I have been looking to replace ever since I decided to declutter them from my wardrobe. I really like the colors too. They don't have black, but they have a really nice dark slate gray, and also, if memory serves me, there was a tan color as well. Now, I didn't try on any of their jackets in store just as nothing really caught my eye, but there are a few things that I would buy and a few things that I would avoid. So what I would buy is anything that has a really high wool content. So I'm talking more than 70 or 80%. I find that these are some of the best coats that you can buy from UNIQLO, and they do have that raw wool texture to them. I didn't really see anything when I was browsing, but I will try and see if they've got something on the website currently. If you're traveling between different climates, or you're looking for a jacket that packs down really nicely and can be used as an additional layer, I don't think that you can go past their ultra lightweight down jackets. These are brilliant, and they have so many different styles. If you're in the US, you could also try the ones from Quince, as they are really nice too. But I just think it's something that UNIQLO is known for, and they do tend to come with a little bag, so you can easily squish them in there for packing away when you're traveling. In terms of what I would avoid from their outerwear, any of their jackets that have a high synthetic component. I'm going to put some images on screen of some of the styles that I see currently, and also the fabric composition, so you can understand what it is that offends me about these. I touched all of these in store, and they just felt plasticky, synthetic, and cheap. And I think that we deserve better for our wardrobes, which is why I would never recommend something like this to you. Let's talk about blouses. I feel like so many of the blouses that UNIQLO often have on their website are made from rayon. Now, this kind of has a bit of a slinky, silky texture to it when you touch it. If you aren't familiar with what rayon or viscose is, it's a man-made fabrication that is derived from cellulose, from wood pulp or bamboo. Now, that kind of sounds great on the surface. However, it is prone to pilling and also shrinkage when you wash it. And for that reason, I would never recommend it. I also find that it isn't anywhere near as breathable as your 100% natural fiber counterparts. So I just think that there are better options out there. Instead, I would seek out their tops that are made from 100% cotton or 100% linen, and I'll pop a couple of options on screen. The same goes for their dresses. Avoid the rayon and viscose styles, and instead opt for the ones that are made from natural fibers. They have a really beautiful 100% lambswool dress in at the moment, and anything in cotton is going to be beautiful in the summertime. For those in the Northern Hemisphere, I'm sure they're going to have some great cotton and linen designs, so I'll be sure to pop some on screen and down in the description box that you can check out. I also tried on one of their slip skirts, which I think are really lovely. This silver grey is gorgeous. I would say stick with your usual size. I sized down, and I think it was a mistake. It comes with a little slip as well, but a really good classic option, especially for work. I appreciate that the skirt kind of goes against some of the principles that I mentioned earlier, but occasionally I am happy to compromise, and this is definitely one of those areas. Satin fabrics are quite often polyester, and it's what helps to give it that really beautiful shine without all the maintenance of silk. So that wraps up what I think are some of the best and worst pieces to shop from UNIQLO. I will be sure to link some of my other favorites for those in the Northern Hemisphere and down under like me in the description box too, in case you like to browse a few other options. I want want to know if there are any hidden gems that I didn't mention in this video, please do leave those down in the comment section below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe if you're new here and want to see more brand reviews, styling advice, and how to make the most of your wardrobe. And I will see you next week with a brand new video. Thank you so much for watching and see you soon. Bye.